Peace, everybody. Kimmy the Morris Candace here. Just want to tell you a little story about truth and falsehood. And the reason why I want to go into this story about truth and falsehood is because I want people to understand, you know, the difference between spirituality and religion and how we could better wake up from the situation. Coming into a manifestation is actually, or a rebirth here on this plane has different variations to it. A lot of it is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. So we definitely need to open our eyes and awaken to the understanding of these realities and false realities that we're being manipulated with, so that we can better understand how to maneuver on this plane. But I'm just going to go into the fact that there's a story about a guy named Truth, right? And he basically decided one day while walking in a village to go swimming in the pond. So he took off all his clothes and he went swimming. While he was out enjoying, his little splish splash and his laps that he wanted to take, along comes Falsehood, that was actually jealous of Truth. And basically, he decided to take Truth clothes and put them on and walk through the village in Falsehood, So when Truth gets out of the pond, he's like, yo, like, who ran off with my clothes? Let me go see what's up. And when he went to go tell everybody what was going on, people looked at him crazy and they ran from him. They were disgusted, because he didn't have any clothes on. He was naked. And no matter how much he tried to explain to them that Falsehood is walking around with his clothes on, they still love Falsehood, and all his lies and all his glory. And, he had people to favor him because he looked most attractive, and Truth looked unattractive without his clothes on. His royal garbs were stripped of him. So in this era of time, we need to become seekers of truth and dress him up. And with every garb of clothing you add back on to truth, although it may seem ugly at first, once you get past the ugliness, once you get past the bitter taste in your mouth, you realize that truth is what you needed the whole time, for your own personal growth. Growing up, like, if you notice, with every holiday, they give you candy, right? And what does candy do? It rots your teeth. So you have sugar that's white and it's wrong. You have white rice, like anything white that's due to consumption is not necessarily good for you. So white isn't always right. And we have to definitely step away from that idea. The hellish state of mind claims to things that are most attractive and more appealing. But if you drink something like Moorish tea, or Moorish tea is very bitter, very nasty, but it helps to cure all ailments of the body, like Roma, like blood purifier. That's what the tea is, a blood purifier. And it's very good for you, but you have to get past the taste in order for the blood purifier to do what it do. We have so many things that are given to us that's fashionable to the eye, and lovely to the eye. But then you have to question those things. Mama always said everything that looks good isn't good for you. So what we think isn't. And what we think isn't really is. Like, I'll even give it to you from a Christian standpoint. Like, even in the Bible, where they say that Adam and Eve ate of the fruit, and God didn't want them to eat of the fruit So if he didn't want them to eat of the fruit so that they can know better, then, like, why would you want to keep them ignorant? Like, what's the point of that? So what makes the serpent bad? From my school of thought, in a mystery school of thought, and if you study any type of occult knowledge or comedic knowledge, you will understand that the serpent is the wise one. The Kundalini energy is the serpent that travels your spine in order for you to reach enlightenment. So to be in light of that is totally different. To be ignorant is one thing. To be in darkness is not necessarily a bad thing. We have to destroy in order to rebuild. And once you destroy everything, there is a bit of darkness. But in meditation, you're in darkness. You're in silence. And there is when you find that, the wisdom becomes much louder when you're able to quiet a lot of the commotion and craziness in your world. You have to dispel some things. You have to doubt some things in order to see the truth within yourself. We keep looking outside of ourselves for a God, a pink Jesus. All that is nonsense. The greatest deceiver in the world made you think that he was God. But the deceiver who they depict as a deceiver is really the one who is liberating you from ignorance. He's liberating you so that you can elevate and grow spiritually. And once we come to that understanding, we'll stop believing in false ideologies and religion that's corrupted and keeping you in control, making you afraid, making you think that the skin that you in is really you. Man is not the body. So we have to definitely come into a clear understanding of what we are, who we are, why we manifest here, the importance of elevating and understanding, the sleep realm. All these type of things are very important. So, I ask that you seek after truth and let that be your light, and when you're a seeker of truth, you are in darkness for that moment, because, when you're waking up and you're changing who you are, your friends or so-called friends or family members are not going to see you. They're going to think you're crazy. They're going to think that something's wrong with you. But when you look at them, you be like, what is wrong with you? A wise man doubts often and changes his mind. But a fool is abstinent and stays the same, So definitely keep that in mind when you're seeking truth. And, like when you're around people that haven't awakened yet, we can't shun them or anything like that, but we don't have to deal with the scrutiny. Like people, when they see that you're waking up to spirituality, they've been taught that spirituality is actually spookism or witchcraft is devil's work and all this type of crazy stuff, but it's not. It just depends on the energy that you're putting behind your intentions, So it's time to wake up. It's time to rebel against falsehood, against lies that you're being taught that don't serve your spiritual evolution. Just, take the time and think about that. But yeah, I definitely wanted to share that story with you guys. Definitely, if you want to know more information and you are looking, and are a seeker after truth, you can hit us up at 7sagemetaphysics.com. Also, like us on Facebook, which is Royal Bloodline. Our group, yeah, we popping. It's full of love. It's full of energy. It's full of esoteric knowledge, that's not being told to us on the regular basis. And in order to elevate, you have to, like I said, doubt some things. Come on to the dark side, because that's where we at. And don't be afraid. Don't live in fear. Don't allow yourself to be crippled and stagnant by this plane, but learn to elevate to the next plane. I'm your Kimmy. I'll comment peace, I'll leave in peace, and I'll see you on the next video.